Oh, hello. Anyway, what's next on the agenda? New Cameron. Don't know. Don't know. Anyway. Okay. Program 64. Data, technology, position, allo. Because nationally, the condition of Methacson is a dibilong in relation to Difra and Tisasan, because the majority of our work is the condition of non-non, because in that way, then, our income production is a service producer to decide what not to do in relation to customers' affair. Because in that way, if we can review the support so pro, we will develop the next data in relation to titla consum. Because the method of oil is the capacity of our engineer based upon. Okay, she said she's an engineer at DT. She from LJ Hooker? Oh. Anyway. Okay, Mythology. Sequential application form. Appliance 3. Mythology. Sequential application form. Applying form. Application 6. Data technology. Sequence 5. The partition in relation to sequence 6 and sequence 4 is an error in relation to defragmentation. So in that way, Tony, you can actually hire a jock strap. Jock strap? Isn't that undies? I think so. Oh, whatever. You know. Oh no. Anyway, you can hire jockstrap in relation to a dushakon of Divlan, because in that way, if the boss, bio, no, bio, no, it's what is it, jockstrap in relation to Boy Lamkong of Minanan to develop the next CP9 in relation to pins and ordering system of confunction of pins and ordering system of science and technical supply to resupport Asasi in relation to 31 grade, 56 grade and 39 grade in relation to Thunderbolt and Kurkushon of Metasa. Because the Thunderbolt based upon bio is just a half-life alien creature to parasite the visual virus based upon anti. Because in that way, when we travel on the internet or having cable or ADSL, if there is any kind of vernon based upon the phone line, cable, console, it may be some travelers in there that may error our connector. So, methodically, the understanding of biohazard is the concussion of our law and into our liberation of our PO5. And in that way, PO5 is just a sister to tree, sister to tree, and sister to tree. The dimension in relation to sister to tree, sister to tree, sister to tree is a refusion of our ink. And in that way, the refusion of our ink is a dead zone of our second data meter. The second data meter will tile the subclass in relation to our categories and to complement the next layer of transgenton. The next layers of our transgenton first word is an econym of illegal Satan. Why? It's just our electric is a normal socket in relation to our 240V. But in other countries it's different as well. But in that way, which one is in China? I got some. I don't know, it's Korea, Malaysia, or China. But anyway, our podcast based upon our normal computer header is ID on. And in that way, our header is just a singleton of DV plug. And in that way, it thrives in relation to our enana of ether. And in that way, when it does, the computer system will equalize the matrixon of illegal sustained to stabilize the era of CTOS. And in CTOS, it will complete into bio. And in that way, when it does in bio, it will complete the next game PC dealer in relation to MSI. So in that relation, our 64-bit video converter that we have by Jesus and John is a knockathon of our Melchizedek. Our browser is not updating in relation to that computer, but the other computer is so far in relation to an audition. So in that way, our net card is PCI, but I can't find any, so I can't access my own modem. So in that way, how do we know that the Ethernet is just a valor in relation to searches to find that our Ethernet is socket 5, socket 6, and socket 10, InLink 5, InLink 3, and InLink 2, Asasi, Salam, Data. But in that way, the third amount of our Ethernet to network the computer is easy and normal. But when we share our files in relation to each computer, how can we upload into DoFrom? Because our web center is massive, then our hackathon is illegal because does it cost? Subscribe? Why? Because we have YouTube and we have VE. What's VE? And based upon our screen, what is VERSA? Is it What? Am I right? EERSA. Oh, don't remember. So anyway, on our screen, LED, the letter is just a Blankstone of our screen. So, Sony brand, based upon our entertainment by PS, our Melody is a construction of Mona Lisa to develop Leonardo code. So in that way, how can we develop the next aura by horseshoes? Hmm? Who believe in horseshoes? Mystical or Balaam? Mom, agree. In the unity of my brother, having an honor at Aragosan after finish school, what San Java is Trukursasan whilst he learned at school. He still had the book, doesn't he? Yeah. So in that way, my brother Kung, what is a sibling to a ugly duckling before, after more? Because the propriety of its own Birgisen, it's a not of throttle to engineer. So in that way, oh hello Phoenix, come here, good girl. So in that way, Mommy loves you. So in that way, what kind of prison is the entire colorization of PMS for 21B pregnancy test, 26B Kofala syrup, 28C Dustin, 26PM review Takrat Takra. And 56 inform. So chemistry based upon your potion of antivenom. How do we know that the buyer will war the exchange in relation to supplement of our own? So in that way, if there is a conversion of RTP and RTTC and RT1T, is just a derocation of our own cough syrup to know that our fluid is a human nature. Isn't that a band called Human Nature? Are they still around? So in that way, what comfort are we selective in relation to our own produce of animal? Because the creator of our human cannot Simpson its own afra of thriller. So in that way, our creator is state the exchange in relation to custom. But the reality of life, once upon a time, the duck will flap through the wind of ponds to find food to eat, to dition the soul of feet beat. So in that way, the duck will be fatty matty to oil its own skin under the water. But, chemist, our duck is just our duck in relation to our aboriginal unculture. But the platypus is the clinton of how to become beaver. Does that mean spices of herbs to remedy the antidote, to know how the duck pluck the maximum number of feather feet? But the maximum number of feather feet, our fairy tale is just a notion of appendency in relation to subtitle, catacomb, and science in relation to knowing that our tooth fairy is our Belongshong of nodes. But Messiah, in my way of knowing how unreal I am to be a plucker before I have been eaten, to beat the batter and to know how to possum a source of code. Some movie source of code. How do we know that our Lenza is not Poseidon enough in relation to Albert Park and to conference into plucking a duck, but the platypus is precision of animals? So how does platypus Tony Abbasford? It's a gold mine of gambler to defense the unity of strings into our own state government. So in that time, if we can't show our own properly, then the biohazard will advance our indication of our water level in the river of the pond. So Moses, the snake pallon, you got one, have you not? The, so in that way, Moses, the Constantin of our water level sunk through our what? So in that way, when it does, Kula Sudoku simplify the past. So in that way, the funk out is, compacting the non approximately. It's just in a manner of time the composition of our is our duo Protestant of Dapadam. So in that way, Mother Mary, I was so lucky I found a toilet and did number 2, and it was just on the wall. Oh. So in that way, how do we convert our supplement by bio now, by rice cookies and mum? So in that way, Anafon, our Ramadan is just our physics of dolls. But in song, Jesus, why, how, no, is our water level to send through the raindrops by stars and to equal the odd long. But our chemist store, how does the rain into our river to be so and showerable to product ijukun? But the algro is just an alf of the next cube in relation to empire. So in that way, if we can develop the Lankasan, off you go. So in that way, if we can develop the Lankasan of our own propaganda, then our thinking plots of is Mona Lisa to link the Ethernet of wire, red, green, blue, pink, green, red, brown, green, white, wire, testator. So Internode, been with you for years. How do we dolong the next minute of Bible? But Pope, based upon our intensifier, Gabriele shot through the dimes of Buddha to bless the Christian. If so, the archangel is just burden of each other to the dauphin of Daffy and Duff. So in that way, beholder is the color of sign, and to siphon through lawnmower to block the next. So, Alicia Key, Kingdom to Heaven, lyrics of Biel. How do we know the invention is coded by Pasatlang of Lao? So in that way, when it bags itself into Romo, Sommo, Dombo, then being a baby is just wine. So our compound sound of the exchange conducted by Wall Street is a cross of Pimben Glicked. So, in reality of life, our lesser laser is the gross tone. The stronger it goes, the breath it takes, the stronger it flows, the breath it knows, the stronger it looks, the little beautiful kiss of love. Oh. So anyway, in that way, Alicia Keys. Oh, what kind of mood am I in? Oh, are they a mood ring? Oh, forget about it. Oh, Twiggy. So, no, anyway. What is our next TV series in relation to knowing how to disarm, no, mount Unix? Oh, great. Brandon Stilton. Steps to our Leo. So, in a way of knowing real love, cinematically, our mathematician will illusion the reproduction of our robot to be real to me, to be real to me, to be real to Flash, to be real to Venom, and so in love I need so to be. Is that a brain via lines, human body system, curves of a shape, flexion of muscles, and fiberglass of wall by? Well, Hellboy told me that in our life we are softened into potatoes, couch, being, lazy and ordering into death tone of prostitute. What does that mean? Chemistry of law. So, in oh, I think it's finished. Thank God. So anyway, everyone, what kind of mythology in relation to Australia in front? So, they used to be on YouTube when I didn't. Couldn't afford Telstra with broad. Oh well, doesn't matter. So, what kind of mythology in relation to our unknown art? Seen it. It's beautiful and melon of Matato because that art is just pissatan of papers, puzzles and muzzles and measles and diesels and things. But it's the dawn of art in relation to our vehicle, the vast dawn of knowing wonderful, wonderful volume of. So in that way, Brown Trout Publisher, what kind of things will we need to know our committee is to stay, Lenza of Andes, jockstrap, and to Irish. Isn't an old friend of mine, Kuchaks? I think so. So in that way, what variation in Ireland is the full. Did you want to know how the four-leaf clover works? It's just a time restamp. No, not possible. Time restamp. No, it's just relearning, self-taught time lab restamp. Johnson Jameson. So how it grows by Coco, my little girl, is a snozzle of. So an insect is just an insect in relation to our Gravanan. But Madam Malcolm, gotcha. So our own class of liquidation based upon Andrew Straw. How can our Safan of knowing that the rocker of encryption will know why is so my man, I'm just a girl. I need to know how flowerable my breast will be to nipple your own nipple, to sink into the inner what. But our blood vessel is just a web of the world to our own sustained function. So, green pepper, what kind of BSNL is wagon in relation to juvenile